What's that I'm looking for?
On the air.
On the air, that's right. Great to have you along. I'm Sully. There's little Tommy and Russ T Nailz as we continue with our journey of getting to talk to every cool radio personality, television personality, captain of industry, person of note in San Diego. And you know what I was thinking that we needed?
What?
A live studio audience.
Yes.
Like right over there.
Yeah.
The row behind him.
So this is, I just want to put it out here.
Thank you.
Just out loud.
Yeah.
Is that sometime in, let's call it July,
Yes.
let's invite studio audience.
Yes.
Okay.
We'll have some live music playing us in, instead of, we'll have somebody on
Recorded
stage
stuff,
playing
it'll be
it,
live.
right? Not
Okay.
Russ. But we'll have a live band playing us in and out of the breaks. We'll have a live studio audience.
Got it.
And we'll have our marquee guests, as we always do.
Live.
And then we'll throw a barbecue with, some sort of a
Can there be,
refreshments.
we
after.
have
like
some
it.
microbrews here in town. Is there any chance you'd like to be a part of this?
I'm just going
Shindig?
to call out right now Mike Hess.
Mike Hess
Brewing, Peter Zion from AleSmith. Anybody else that wants to come by and donate?
Yes, to the broadcast.
Just taps
That's
and
what
hats and stuff like that.
Okay.
I know a guy named Paul Segura from Carl Strauss.
Love Carl
He'll
Strauss.
do it.
Can I tell you a story about Carl Strauss? One of the first things I ever did on radio, because I didn't come from radio. I came from investment banking. I was put on the radio,
Yeah.
and I tried to be on the radio as fast as I could. I was listening to both of you guys while I was on the radio. My friend Chris Kramer,
Yes.
who I was in San Diego Junior Theater with.
No way.
Nephew or something, isn't he?
No, we were in Bye Bye Birdie together and a number of other things. It's JT. And his uncle, Carl,
Yes.
was the brewmaster of Pabst Blue Ribbon. And Carl, I remember suddenly we have Carl Strauss Brewing come to town.
Yeah, you
Red
did.
Trolley Ale.
Yes.
And my first bit on the radio was the Carl Strauss imitation for Padre tickets.
Wow.
And people had to come out, and I'm Carl Strauss.
I know, he's got the great
Right,
accent.
that's exactly right.
Yeah.
That was, but see, when you run a business show, there isn't a lot of great bits. Like we have like Buy, Sell, or Hold.
Right. Anchor, banker, flanker.
Yeah, Ben Bernanke imitation contest.
Sexiest Fed
Janet
chair.
Yellen or Mrs. Bush. You know, I mean, Barbara Bush.
Bankrupt or not.
Bankrupt or not.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
exactly right. Hey, so first of all, got a lot of response from our guests the last couple of weeks with Shotgun Tom Kelly.
Yeah.
And the San Diego Chicken and Gabriel Wisdom.
That's right.
And
I
Delana Bennett. And
I loved the Gabriel Wisdom show.
I rewatched the Delana show a couple of times, and you know who we have today on air with us is her former morning partner, Jesse Lozano.
Yes.
Really?
94.1. Yeah.
Still in the group.
He's an icon. He's iconic because he's been in that slot ever since I've been in radio. Him and AJ Machado were the two guys, I think the first guys I met as I walked in the building, and they were like so welcoming because I was not a radio guy.
They were on channel 933. I think Jesse was Boy Toy Jesse.
Okay.
Was he really?
Yeah. Boy Toy Jesse. He still is Boy Toy Jesse.
To some, yes. Not
That's good.
Yeah.
So and then of course, one of my favorite people in the whole world. I've got such stories going back. I'm going to say 15 years. Kacey Mckinnon.
Yes.
Kacey Mckinnon, the person on the street for KUSI that you see every morning. And I've always thought to myself, that is the hardest job on television.
Oh, yeah.
I would hate
If you
it.
show up and there's a guy with ice cream on a donut, and you got to interview the guy with
4 times over the next 3 hours.
Yeah, you got to interview the guy from the Chili Quick or the Gundramat or whatever.
Tell me what kind of beans are in the chili. So I run out of questions.
She does a great job at that, but I've got backstory on her, going back to when my daughter and her played sports together way back when.
When they were kids?
Yes.
Wow.
And I was the creepy coach with beer on his breath. And that,
That's wrong. I tried to coach soccer, and I don't know soccer, so I just basically yelled "run" and kicked the ball.
When we coached soccer, I remember when the kids started soccer, and Casey might have been in this team. I just went and picked him up and put him in the spot, and then we blew the whistle, and they all chased the ball, and then you'd put him back in the spot
How
again.
cute. Well, she's come a long way since the Beehive days.
So tell us about our guests. You have experience with all these guys.
Well, Jesse Lozano, I'm going to tell you something. He's my nephew.
What?
Jesse Lozano.
Not a
Jesse Lozano's my nephew.
Lozano.
Yes, he's going to be coming up. He's going to be the
Did you
the
just
last
affect an
guest.
Italian
I
accent?
did. Lozano. I like Lozano. Hey.
But we're going to have Kacey Mckinnon, just like you said. She's one of the new reporters at KUSI News, and she's doing a great job. And I can't wait to have both of them on.
Well, let's get Jesse in here.
Right.
Can you get Jesse
A
going?
little
Yes.
bit of Jesse.
Yo, Jesse!
Oh, there it is.
Jesse!
We paid over 20 cents for that
Jesse, come here.
intercom system. He knows where he's going. There you go. Look at him, like he's coming into a game.
This is the first time I've jogged in 3 months.
That's fantastic.
In pants.
Good stuff.
Yeah.
Hey,
Jesse Lozano.
first of all, welcome to On the Air.
Yeah.
Jesse, I've been proud of you for a very long time. I remember you from a very
guys
long
really
time
related?
ago. He is my little nephew. Is that true?
That's not accurate.
By marriage.
Okay.
Really?
Yeah, he married my little niece.
Is everything little in your?
Little niece, little Tommy, little nephew.
But yeah,
Trouble.
Jesse, longtime radio veteran icon, is my little nephew.
But nothing to do with a connection or anything, was it, Jess?
Did you get in the radio because of Tommy?
No, I will not give him that.
All talent.
Well, we're
Yes.
going to get into the entire story, but I didn't know that you guys
Yeah.
are actually related. Now, your niece is his wife.
Yes,
So
Natalie.
he's basically your
That's my little nephew right there.
nephew-in-law.
That's what, yeah.
But more
I
importantly,
think when you're cousins, but you're older, you still want to call it your nephew.
I like to
It's
say,
kinda weird.
well, I'm not gonna
but
say
more
it at all.
importantly, that's boy toy Jesse right
Oh,
there. Boy,
hey,
boy
let's bring
toy.
it back.
Boy toy Jesse. You know,
All
once you-
grown up.
Once you get that
Wow.
moniker. You know, it's like if somebody called you like Fat Bob when you're a little kid. I don't care how fit you are. When you're 30, you're still,
You're
hey,
Fat
there's
Bob.
Fat Bob.
Fat Bob.
You're still Boy Toy Jesse.
I cannot wash it off. It's
Oh,
the
no.
weirdest thing ever. But I always tell people I started in this industry with a very demanding female boss, and that's exactly what I was.
Really?
Cabana Boy, Boy Toy.
Yes, I was. Can you carry that brand new comforter I just got delivered here back to my car, put it in the trunk, and then
Will you?
could you be troubled to go walk my dog? You know, like literally.
And
that
you
kind
so
of stuff.
badly wanted to get into the business, you said, yeah, sure, why not?
Dude, I was just exactly happy she was talking to
What
me.
were you doing before?
I worked at Nordstrom. I sold men's suits.
No kidding.
Yeah.
Oh, and we've got a picture later in the program of some of the suits that he used to be very stylishly modeling.
Oh, good. Well,
Oh, yeah, because his sense of style is like no one else's.
Yeah, if you Google obnogious whatever,
Right.
That's not
hat,
accurate.
suit,
That is not
pants,
accurate.
shoes.
You're in
it's
it,
the
huh?
best.
You
It
still
is
got
the
connections
best.
over there at Nordy's? Or is it just the rack
Oh
now?
man.
Yeah.
I'm
a rack
excited
guy
for a
now.
number of reasons. First of all, Jesse's career. I want to find out how you started this thing. I don't know if you remember that. I remember the first day I met you because I would walk. I was not a radio guy, and I went from not being on the radio to 6 months later being on the radio. And there was a couple people that were like super like, it's going to be okay as I'm vomiting. And
There he is.
I'm getting sick in the back.
Especially when you meet the boy toy.
So I want to talk about that. I want to talk also about
yeah.
the fact that my daughters, we all own millennials here, right? I own
Yeah.
like 2 of them. You own 3.
I got a 2 or 3.
And you're about to have 1. Or no, maybe not.
What's a 17? What are they? They're not. They're Gen
That's
A,
like Gen
Z or
double
whatever.
O or something.
Yeah, Roger that.
But my daughters grew up listening to you, and of course, I went to the Aaron Carter concerts. I went to the One Direction concerts.
Oh, bro. Are we going to talk about the concerts? Please let me talk about the
yeah, I'm
concerts.
gonna let you
Boy
talk about
band
the concerts.
stuff?
Yeah, no, for sure. So I want to talk about that, and then also you do a lot of great charities. So we're gonna spend some time.
And I want to ask him this. Don't answer yet.
Okay.
Yeah.
But I want to ask you this because
Don't ask him yet.
No. Here's what I'm going to. Here's
How
what
it
I'm going to
works?
ask. Here's what I'm going to ask a little later. Is it true you're kind of next in line to take over for Ryan Seacrest?
What, dude?
Don't answer that yet. Because I hear that all the time that Jesse Lozano.
Okay, get out of here. We're gonna bring you back.
Get out of here.
Beat it. With that, see, that's how you keep people in the driveway.
And I tell you, that would explain the haircut he's got. If he's next
If
in line.
he's next in line for Seacrest,
Yes.
that means I got tickets to everything.
Yes.
And, maybe I,
And a connection
maybe
to
I
Nordy's.
Maybe I get a date.
God bless my little nephew.
Yeah.
Wow, that's right. You're in the family.
Speaking of little nephews, can you get Casey in here?
Yo, Casey!
Nah, Kacey Mckinnon. Happened to see her walking in.
It's fantastic. Oh my goodness.
Now, every morning, I watch the KUSI morning news, and this poor lady has been thrown out into it to learn
Yeah,
quickly.
they didn't even give. Casey, first of all, welcome.
Thank you for
I've got
having
so many great stories, but here's the thing about Casey. They gave you no warning, did they? You came out of this thing looking like you were a pro 20 years into this thing, and you're out there interviewing the cotton candy guy or the wiener dog contest at Dog Beach or
Chicken Charlie.
Like Chicken Charlie. How did you tell me about your very first day? Just literally the first time you said, okay, I'll do it.
Yeah.
So I started out doing PPR in the Big Pig on campus.
Right.
Oh, yeah.
And then that all ended, and they were like, what about Good Morning San Diego? So I said, why not? And
After you saw Allie Wagner and all the stuff she had to do, obviously, because you and Allie are the people that do that now.
Well, growing up in high school, I actually watched Allie Wagner and looked up to Allie Wagner, and that's who I really aspired to be and do what she did. And so little Tommy was actually with me on my very first live shot at Helen Woodward. And speaking of throwing me in there, they gave me a snake. I was holding dogs. So it was an experience, and I was like, heck yes, I love this job.
Yeah.
I remember when Russ and I went from radio to television. We'd done radio for 12 years, which is basically a pair of board shorts, a burrito, and a newspaper. Honestly.
I'm not far away.
This is what radio looks like when you're in a radio studio. It's like this. It's honestly, it's like you don't even look at your guy. Suddenly we were on TV, and we realized you have to be completely prepped because you can't be literally looking down at the newspaper or whatever. And
iPhone or whatever.
So what I want to know is, did you have any idea that, first of all, you have to look like you got it together. So we can't roll in a pair of board shorts with a burrito in your hand and a newspaper. You have to look sharp, and then you also have to have it figured out. How do you prep for all that stuff? That's amazing to me.
Well, it all kind of came from sports, really.
Oh, good.
Fake it till you make it is what they said back in the day.
That's a Paul
And
Rudy
growing
line.
Yeah, that's for sure.
And going through college and everything like that, and being uncomfortable and being comfortable at the same time is kind of how I.
But you look like you've been doing it for 20
gained
years. That's the
experience
thing.
Doing that.
Well, I'll tell you this: the camera loves you. I mean, when the camera's on you, it's like, whoa, look at that. But how do you feel today? Because I remember that first day at Helen Woodward. That's day one. Now it's not day one.
Right.
How are you feeling about everything today?
I feel like I don't need you there anymore.
You're out of a job, little Tommy.
That's excellent.
No, I'm serious.
Little unemployment.
When we were at Helen Woodward, Tommy and I would go over, hey, what am I going to say now? What's my next thing? What am I going to say? Who am I going to talk to? Do I look at the camera or do I look at my person I'm interviewing?
Yeah.
And now, I mean, I could talk to a wall for an hour.
Yeah.
And so
I do
just,
every single day.
I have. Thank you. I'm right over here.
Rusty Nailz.
All in all.
So I want to let me bring you back to a gentler time.
Here we go. Play the pretty music.
The year,
Start with a 19?
no, I think it starts with 19.
Okay.
I'm going to call it, no,
90.
2003.
Little Kacey Mckinnon.
Little Kacey Mckinnon takes the mound.
Takes the mound.
Takes the mound.
Wow.
Softball
North
game.
Shore, softball, something. Fantastic organization. Exactly. She's about all of 3'11". Hi.
60 pounds.
Oh yeah, not even a buck, not even near a buck. And my daughter, who is 6 foot
30.
10,
Yeah.
is her catcher. And I remember she takes him out and literally went 7 innings with a no-no.
Wow.
Her first year. The kid was an
goosebumps.
amazing athlete.
With the music, and she's
And
here.
by the way,
Yeah.
and I was creepy coach.
Yeah,
Sully.
with the beer breath.
Yeah, exactly.
Round of applause for Sully.
Yeah,
That's it. Thanks,
but what's
Coach.
really funny is that it's I have to tell you, when you know this, if you're a coach of kids, it's never the kids, it's the parents. And I struck a friendship with Casey's dad.
Yeah.
And we may or may not have, snuck away after the games and just got away from everybody for a few minutes.
I love OGs.
And just hung out. OG. I love OGs. But I was Casey's softball coach way back in the day with her and Delaney, my daughter. And then you two guys were the best kids on the team by a lot.
Says the coach.
Well, I don't want to brag.
No, but you were though.
yeah.
Casey was not. You were diminutive in stature. You were not a very big kid, and she used to like hit a lot of home runs and stuff like that. That carried on. Did you? And obviously, after a couple seasons of play, we don't get to follow each other because you end up going on. So, what was your athletic life like? Because you end up in PPR. You were a kid that was in sports your whole life.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, when I was little, I started riding horses when I was almost 6 or 7, and then played softball as well in my younger days before I stopped playing softball. Then here came middle school, and I'm playing soccer, trying out field hockey. I didn't.
Yeah, you
didn't stick with that one for a long time. I did a lot.
But when did you realize, or when did people realize, hey, Kacey McKinnon's a great athlete? Because you went on to play, college sports, and that's not easy. So what happened? Like, okay, you're middle school right now, and you're playing all the sports. When was the time when you said to yourself, wow, I am pretty good?
Yeah.
Well, there's a funny story behind my lacrosse career, because I showed up to my first tryout in 8th grade wearing shin guards, and you don't wear shin guards.
Wait a minute, that's like when Russ showed up to yoga in yoga shoes.
Yeah, I had yoga shoes
from Costco.
I didn't know you didn't need.
Those are a thing?
Yeah.
Those white court classics that you see at Costco.
So you got shin guards, you're showing up, you're thinking I'm going to make the team.
You don't wear shin guards to lacrosse? Isn't it like football with a stick?
Nope.
No.
Really?
It's just you have the stick and the ball.
And that's
but
it.
I showed up wearing shin guards, and no one thought I was going to be good, and I made the team, surprisingly. Took off the shin guards. And then
But it would have been cool that you would have been the best one on the team with the shin guards, because that would have changed the entire thing. Now, where was this at?
middle school.
Middle school.
Middle school, little rec team, and then here came Torrey Pines freshman year of high school.
Yeah.
I made varsity, and that's when I was like,
As a freshman?
Hey, as a freshman. Me and
that
one
is
other
good.
freshman, Camille Doan, also. She played lacrosse at a collegiate level.
And did you even know that sport? Because I hadn't heard of it until you just showed up. No.
Yeah,
but-
no, honestly, so lacrosse wasn't there when we were kids. I think it was invented before us, but there wasn't a thing when we were kids.
Here you are.
Horses and
There
soccer
she
were
is.
my life, and then I started playing lacrosse, and I fell in love with the sport. I got good at it.
Is
I
that
had
you
a
right there, number
sidearm
5?
shot.
Is that number 5?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was my freshman year. Number 11 is my number. Double sticks is what they like to call me.
Double sticks.
Oh, look
There's-
at you. Bam.
So
Wow, that looks dangerous.
You ever get hit with one of them sticks?
oh yeah.
Oh,
and
God.
we would end up with bruises down our arms. You're not allowed to hit each other, but
But you do.
Yeah.
you get away with it.
But wait a minute.
Yeah.
But you played lacrosse, but you weren't just, playing lacrosse. You were lacrosse because you went on not to, play at City College or anything. You went on to
Nothing
what college?
wrong with the city
Not
college
the- no,
lacrosse
I
team,
went to
Tommy.
City College.
Come on.
I went to
Go.
City College. But where did you go in
The
college?
University of North Carolina.
Did you wait a second? Did you play? You played lacrosse as an athlete there? That was your deal?
Yes.
Yeah. And she was actually more famous than another athlete, Michael Jordan, at that
North
college.
Carolina,
But
yeah.
big, huge.
Yeah, I verbally committed to North Carolina when I was a junior in high school.
How many schools did you talk to? Just out of curiosity.
A few,
Yeah.
but I have a top 5 that I like to
Did you
say.
know that's where you wanted to go?
I didn't look anywhere on the West Coast. I knew the East Coast is a hotbed for lacrosse, so
Yeah,
I knew I was going far away and coming right back home to San Diego. But North Carolina at the time had been in the Final Four like years and years in a row, and we have the best colors in college sports.
That
so.
is. Nice.
All right, stay right there.
light blue.
Kacey McKinnon.
Yeah.
Stay right there. I want to hear what happens next.
College star.
Because now we're into college.
Yeah.
Yes.
And now we're into college sports.
Wait till I see, wait till you see some of the photos from Maui on her driving abilities. The dune buggy.
Do we have some of those? All right.
Found one.
On the air, Kacey McKinnon's with us today. Stand by.
Service is back. Hi, I'm Chubby Sykes. I'm the owner and operator of Sykes Service Center. Call us a gas station is like calling Dolly Parton a man. She's more than a man. She's a whoa man. And right now, while gas is only $1.14 a gallon, you can fill up and head off to anywhere you want. But probably gonna be closed. That's why this Saturday night I'm offering Sykes full, no bull super sale. I'll fill anything you bring in with high octane gasoline. Milk jugs, full, no bull. 40-gallon Yeti, full, no bull. 3-ring inflatable pool like the kids use, full, no bull. I'll tell you what, when I top off your tank, I'll also clean both windshields front and back, and I'll be happy as a pig in mud to check under your hood. I hardly recognize anything under there, but if I see a dead animal or a small fire, I'll fix it fast and free. Because I'm Chubby Sykes. Come on down, see me at Sykes Super Service Center. More like the center of the universe.
Finally got us a sponsor. Huh?
Yeah, well, we're looking out there. If you'd like to be a sponsor of On the Air with Sully, Little Tommy, and me, Russ T Nailz, give us a call.
Oh, look at that.
What is that?
That is an NCAA championship ring.
University of North Carolina. Bless your heart.
What is that a championship ring?
ACC championship ring, 2016.
Here's the problem. Here I am on the set here. We got her ACC championship ring. We have Russ T Nailz Emmy Award. We have Tommy's Hall of Fame Award. I have a hat.
Yeah,
I have
Sully's
a participation
hat.
trophy and a freaking hat.
You know what? I should have brought my national championship ring as well.
Wow. Yeah. Thank you, Jimmy Jumps.
So what was it like playing at North Carolina? Were you spoiled? I mean, playing college sports. Is it just like the movies where you get everything?
You like catered and all that, they treat you differently?
When we get our gear, we call it Nike Christmas, that's for sure.
Really?
But we work hard for what we get.
Mm-hmm.
I agree, though. But still, was it good being a student athlete there, or was it? I mean, it seems like a blast, but let's face it. You have school, you have studies, you have practice, you have training, and you also have games and stuff. And then, how do you have your social life?
You don't.
Right.
Really?
Especially not during the off season. You work harder in the off season for school, workouts. So we wake up to work out 5 a.m. You go to class, you go back to workout, you go to practice, and then you go back to workout again. And then you do it all over again the same day.
Yeah.
Are there essence of Jordan on all over campus?
Yeah, is Michael Jordan pretty visible there?
Pretty visible.
Yeah?
You think so?
Yeah, that's great though. I didn't know that about him until I watched The Last Dance.
The Last Dance.
Yeah.
Okay, so in your college career, what did you study? What was your major?
What's your
I was a
major?
communication major.
Oh, so okay, that's good.
Right in there.
So
Communication.
Did you know
We're
that
talking.
Did you know that you wanted to do television at the time? Was that kind of in the wheelhouse?
Yeah, it's something I thought about all the time when I was little. And then when I started doing lacrosse and everything in the sports world, I wanted to get right into sports. That was my passion. That's what I loved.
Oh, because-
that's what I knew. That's what
Yeah,
I still
right.
know.
Right.
And then I got into Good Morning San Diego, and I'm like, hey, I get to meet people every single day.
Sure.
I learn something new every single day, and that's what I love most about what I'm doing now.
Okay, so let's talk about this because I've seen you do this stuff, and you look like you've been doing it forever. But when you're dealing with people and businesses and stuff like that, they're not always ready, right? You're thrown into the fire. What has been so far the most uncomfortable for you? Was it holding the snake with the rattle going? Was it the live tiger? What was the most for you, one that you wouldn't want to go do again?
Ooh, you put me on the spot there.
Well, because I can tell you who I don't want to interview again.
Who's that?
As far as on
Nathan
air,
who?
On air, not Nathan Fletcher. I'm trying to get Nathan Fletcher to come on here.
Good luck.
I would not want to interview again. His name escapes me. The lead guitar player for Journey.
Okay.
Neil
Neil
Schon.
Schon.
Why?
He wasn't a nice guy.
He wasn't nice.
He was not a nice guy. And the thing is one of these things where, and you've done this before. You know what I'm talking about.
Oh God.
So Neil, tell me about your beginning. And he give you a one-word answer. The one-word answer is the death of the interviewer.
That's when you got to take the mic and run away and talk to everybody by yourself.
Yeah.
And never give them the mic. I've learned that too, doing what you do for a while. You give somebody the mic.
That's rule number one.
But it was uncomfortable for me because I was trying to be like
nice.
super nice, like big fan, and the guy just wasn't playing.
Yeah.
And it was like, oh my gosh.
You know what I
felt
bet?
like
What happens too is as a younger person, you're interviewing an older person, and do you ever throw down like, OMG, I can't believe that? And they're like, OM who? Or, I mean, you throw in terms.
Is that your imitation of a 20-something? They talk like OMG.
Well, they use phrases that may not be in the lexicon of older people, and I'm saying, does it ever slipped up and you do that?
It does, but that interviewee looks at me and is like, okay.
Yeah.
And kind of just moves on. We just kind of make that eye contact, like, what did you say, lady? And we move on quickly.
About 2 weeks ago, I was watching Kacey, and I do remember she had an interview at a local business that was reopening, and the owner had the one-word ansers. Remember that?
3 times in a row, and I'm like, get me out of here.
I know, right? That's the one, right? Those are the difficult ones that you have to go through. What's your favorite one so far?
That's hard too.
Because I saw you on a yacht the other day.
I was
gonna
on a
say
yacht
that was
this morning.
Hello, you were all
That
there.
was kind of a good gig.
Yeah.
You know, sunny day, you're on a yacht, you're right? Are those ones you like the most, or do you like the ones where you're eating funnel cake down at the fair? And okay.
Well, usually if you're at a
I'll
restaurant,
take a yacht any day.
Yeah.
Let's put it that way.
and if I see you at any place that serves food, I know Paul's going to go, do you read my
I will
mind?
tell you this, Casey.
I got it.
we have our
You-
simultaneous.
Bring me a to-go box.
Well, you're a pleasure, and I'm
Yes.
so proud of you. And I feel like I had something to do with it because I coached her.
And I bet we see you on the sidelines of an NFL game once they start coming back someday. Huh?
Thanks for having me on.
Yeah.
Will you come back with us sometime?
I will. If I get invited back.
You are
KUSI.
invited. Casey
Yeah.
McKinnon, KUSI. Fantastic stuff. All right. Coming up. Jesse, boy toy Jesse Lozano. Coming up from 94.1. We're going to talk. Has anybody ever called you boy toy?
I can't talk about
Man
this
candy?
one. No.
Hairy back guy?
No, I was once called
On the air. Sorry, little Tommy Russ T Nailz.
never bored them.
You don't have to run out of here.
That was fantastic. Casey McKinnon, KUSI. How about that? So, I was regaling you with the story of when I first walked into AM 1130 KSDO. I was not on the radio, and suddenly I was on the radio.
Yeah.
Like January, I was not on the radio. June, I was doing afternoon drive on the radio. Like the luckiest radio career in
And
history.
never left the city.
And never left the city.
That's rare.
And I walked in the door, and I remember there was a couple people along the way in the first few years that were super nice to me. Because AM radio people are not really that nice, let's face it. Like if you're in... No, Jim McGinnis was nice to me.
Was that you? That's my brother.
But it's so funny because news people are... and not to say that news people prep more than FM and people. I think FM people probably, it's a whole different ballgame.
Yeah.
But news people are always head down... and-
Reading the news.
Yeah, and it
Staying updated.
I can tell you, George Chamberlain, God rest his soul.
Yeah.
I didn't even, he wouldn't make eye contact with me for like 3 years. Jeff Prescott, you know,
Yeah.
who I'm friends with now.
You're right.
Not a chance.
Never
you know
shake
who
your
nicest to me?
Who?
Jesse Lozano.
Wow.
AJ Machado.
So there is an award in your future.
Thank you, Rusty.
Well,
I'm
I-
saying.
Sully's nicest friend.
I know, but I was
thanks,
thinking
man.
because I don't even know why, but you guys were like way nice. The FM people were so cool to me.
Yeah, I was just coming up in a time of my life, in that time where AJ, great mentor for me, but I am always like cool to be everyone's friend, and so I think I noticed all the tension in that building. And when I started
was
working,
tension in that
there
building.
was. You could feel it. It was room to room, studio to studio.
What year was this?
I'm gonna say 2002 or 3,
Yeah,
something
right.
like that.
Yeah.
And so because I noticed how scared everyone was of each other, I was like, well, if I'm the guy that's just like nice, AJ was like that too. If we're just nice to everyone, we'll actually stand out because everyone else is kind of jerks.
Well, it's interesting though
Thanks,
is that we
man.
all
That's
came
great.
from different buildings, and we thought this is going to be the greatest. We're all going to be in the same building. The problem is, it looks like a hospital. We're all here at the same time. We never see each other. I mean, it's like literally.
And we're in each other's way, basically, if you can see somebody.
Exactly.
Well, it
And-
used to be one owner, one station, so you'd have to drive across town to damage their promotional vehicle or something like that, not just out to the parking lot.
Okay, I got a question.
All
Yes,
right.
buddy.
Jesse, you're doing great. I mean, you're top morning show, the Jesse Lozano morning show on Star 94.1. You've been on the top for years. How did that happen? Because in the beginning, I think you were at Channel 933.
Yep.
And everyone was on that show, it seems like. Like everyone came out of Channel 933. How did that boy toy Jesse get to be Jesse
And
Lozano?
can we say boy toy Jesse as much as possible?
No,
I'd
but
love
how
to
did-
see him squirm.
I mean,
over
I want to know what you
so
did.
bad.
What's
It really
in
is.
what's in you? What's in you and your work ethic from boy toy Jesse, you know, the guy on the street and all that, to being Jesse Lozano, who is actually next in line, they say, to take over for Ryan Seacrest.
I don't know about that. We'll see. Look, I think that Ryan Seacrest thing comes from when I work in LA on KISS FM, which I still do. I do afternoons on that station.
What?
He's the morning show guy.
Your
and
afternoons on KISS FM?
Yeah.
In LA?
For
Every day.
12 years.
I knew
Yeah,
that.
12 years.
Can you hook a brother up? You know, I got this band thing going. You know, maybe introduce me to some music people or something.
You want to go to the Roxy and we'll make something happen?
Yes,
go.
come on, let's light this candle.
Buy pins on the way.
So I think that for me, that was kind of like the dream. That was kind of the goal. But being a part of KISS FM so far, I've had opportunities to fill in for Ryan here and there. You know, we'll go to a big event. He's late. They need a stage announcement right now. It was Ryan's thing. Jesse will give it to you. So I think that's where that comes from or whatever. But when it comes to how I transitioned from just like doing radio in San Diego to going to LA, I can't believe I'm going to say this right now. I'm not going to be too specific, but someone at work really pissed me off one time. So I hope I can say that.
Yeah,
Okay.
I think you
Someone at work really annoyed me, and it made me feel like this isn't my career. I can't stay here forever. I actually need to figure out what. And at that same time, some weekend guy on KISS FM in LA had quit his job, and it was common knowledge. So I just sent a ton of tapes up. I sent a ton of emails out, and I literally got lucky. They answered an email, said, "Come up for an audition." And the way I look at auditions, I don't know if you guys, you get one shot.
Yeah,
So
no,
I went
yeah.
up
You
there.
got to bring it.
Terrible.
I did. I went up there and did everything I could. I even said the call letters wrong, but they still like.
You said
gave-
KISS?
No, I said LA's #1 hit music station. No, I said KISS. LA's #1 hit music station, 102.7. Like that is as backwards as it can be. It's 102.7 KISS FM, LA's #1 hit music station. It's,
Dial
it's a
location,
religion,
call
man. It
letters.
really
Wait,
is.
but hold on.
Yeah.
How does it feel? Because you're on in San Diego and you know you're on the radio and then you're going to a magical station like KISS FM. There's like out of like the top 3 stations in the country
Rick
or in the world,
Dees,
KISS
Ryan
FM's up there.
Seacrest.
Dude, I was in the studio when someone walked in and said, I think Rick Dees is going to get replaced by Ryan Seacrest on Monday. And we were like, wow. Because it went like that. I don't know if you know
That's
that.
how it
story.
always
It
goes.
was
But
like
is
this.
it? But I mean, when you hit that button on that board on KISS FM, is it a different? Is there like power in
Dude,
that?
it's the 2-year rule. I tell everybody that gets a job there, all the new jocks that come up there, I always have the conversation. You will not feel comfortable on this station for 2 years.
Really?
Because you hit that mic, and you go from here in San Diego, a few 100,000 people, you hit that mic and you got 4.3 million, just like that. Boom. And you feel it always until you really develop that comfort. And dude, yes, it feels crazy. It's like it's exactly like getting called up to the big leagues.
How did this all start? Because obviously you are right there in the batter's box. And by the way, you're already at the pinnacle as it is. I mean, everything here is gravy from that point on.
I hope so, yeah.
So how did this whole thing start?
You know what? When I was in high school, my therapist, I figured it out through my therapist.
Oh, good.
I had really athletically gifted best friends who were the talk of the town for many years of my life.
Where'd you grow up?
Escondido. I went to Orange
Yeah.
Glen.
San Diego? Come on.
Orange Glen High School.
4 people from San Diego in the same room?
Pretty cool, right?
There you go.
We're kind of it. There's like nobody. I've
Is
never.
this the new show?
It really is.
This is the new
This
show
is it.
Yes,
for Saturday night?
Can I be Boy Toy Sully?
Yeah.
Yes, we can change the whole thing.
You're from Orange Glen?
Yeah, from Orange Glen High School. I had some very successful athletic friends that were incredible in all the sports. I
Sean
played-
Salisbury.
Yes. Lenny McGill, a lot of other guys. But I was really ready to be the person everyone talked about. And when I graduated high school, I didn't have a college plan, so I didn't go to college. But what I knew was that I was good around a microphone. I hosted the pep rallies in high school. I did all that kind of stuff.
So you were that guy.
Yeah, and Palomar College. You go find out they got a whole radio television
Yes.
broadcast program. I immersed myself in that for maybe a semester or two, and I was working at the radio
You should be
station.
on the poster there for their recruiting, don't you
them that all the
think?
time, yes.
What sport did you look
I was
at?
a football and a tennis player.
I see.
Wow.
Yeah. So
What
I
year
played-
did you graduate high school?
1997. Cool. I was a free safety. It was
Russ was on his second marriage at that point.
That's right.
in 97.
Wait,
Yeah.
And then when did you get into radio and how did you get that job?
I was literally, I think, 18 and a half going through that first semester at Palomar. One of the classes was called an internship course. You get a job at a real radio station. Once I got a job at Channel 933, I can't believe I'm saying
All right,
this.
so stay right there.
that-
all
so
right,
that-
all right.
that was
We
your
have called
first
in
job.
talk radio the art of the tease.
Roger that.
Wow, we'll be
Jesse Lozano, 94.1. Wow.
My little nephew.
Little nephew.
My little nephew.
I'd like to be called a little nephew. On the air. Sully, little Tommy Russ T Nailz, Jesse Lozano. Boy, what a great show.
back. Call Seacrest, tell him it's over.
A half a mile from here, you see that long train of rug, and you watch them disappear without love. Oh, Where would you
All right, none of that. Beautiful. That would be me and Jesse's new band called
That's Little Boy Jesse.
Broken Crutch, opening for Maroon 5. Where was that, by the way? That was your crutch and your...
That was my crutch. That was in my living room in Escondido on the Flower Streets. Shout out to everyone on the Flower Streets. I was an only child, and once a year, every 6 months, my mom and dad would make the announcement they were going to rent a video camera from the video store.
Oh, boy.
Oh, here
and
we
they
go.
would come and move the couches, and they would set up the camera, and they would just hit record, and I would practice routines leading up to the rental, and that is what you're seeing
As
right there.
a fellow only child.
Oh,
Me and I have an adopted brother named Tyrell Willis, who many of you know, great kid, and he and I used to play guitar. There's only one reason you play guitar when you're 8, right?
to be cool.
To be cool.
That's right.
So much like that, they would parade me and Ty out on little bar stools when they had. Remember when you had company?
Yes.
Remember when the
yes.
company came over?
And they say, "Get ready, everyone's coming over. So get your thing. You know the thing you guys do.
Exactly.
Practice.
That's exactly what it was.
Oh,
and they would parade you out there, like you were their little. You know, it's like. I'm the monkey. You're the grinder. You know,
Dude, nothing different at 40. Like, that's how I feel. It's the same.
right, get out
I was
there.
born
Do
to
a
do
show.
what I do because it feels the same way.
Yeah.
Okay, I want to talk about music. First
Yeah.
thing,
Yeah.
Sully. Sully Saturday. What song dropped?
Sully Band
this morning?
Saturday, Never
Yeah.
Give Up. Never Gonna Give Up drop this morning.
Today?
Spotify.
Hey.
Yeah.
You know why I'm doing all this?
Just haven't had that.
because Jesse is at one of
Okay,
those stages
wait,
that he can
wait.
I see.
I
Like,
want to ask.
they want a 50-something-year-old rock star, and he's the guy that's going to get me there.
Make it happen. Potentially.
Wait a minute.
See.
You have met everyone. I mean, you know, when I'm on the radio, I might meet like, Mick Jagger or Alice Cooper.
Steve Forbes.
You meet
Russell Crowe.
You're meeting everyone. You're meeting everyone on top of the charts now.
Yeah.
How is that?
It's definitely something. You know what? It makes me feel like I have to constantly pay attention to what's going on with them.
Who is this, by the way, on your shirt?
It looks like an
dude,
entire.
that's Niall from One Direction. He's the standout member, and how do I know? Because he looks the best in a flannel shirt. This is what you got to learn, Rusty.
I didn't know.
This
Thank
is one
you.
of those
Okay,
things.
so I was at a concert with my kids at One Direction, and I'm pretty sure they were you the guy that was did you announce them?
The host, yeah,
Yes.
probably came on stage and did the host. Yeah, definitely.
So a guy sees you with that shirt on.
So that shirt that I was
runs.
wearing was an identical shirt of this guy, and he was so creeped out, and I guess I didn't understand it in the moment. I thought he would have been appreciative to meet
Flattered?
someone with the shirt.
Was he a little scared?
It was probably the most awkward moment. It was
Really?
He was so scared that he walked to the engineer first when he saw me, hoping that he didn't actually have to come.
Maybe
to
he
me.
thought you were a fan. Like,
I think so.
Like
Yeah,
he
no.
thought you were like a fan. Like,
did
is
not
this
get
really
it.
the guy?
Wait a
not get
minute.
it.
All the iHeart festivals,
Yeah.
you're there backstage with everyone from Mariah Carey
Yeah.
to J-Lo. How is it like you've met them all?
I
Said
honestly
the guy
didn't-
who goes to the Oscars every year.
Yeah, I'll tell you what.
Seatkeeper.
It totally is a numb thing that does not mean the same thing that it used to. I'm not going to lie to you.
So okay, let me ask you this, because
You know?
honestly, my universe in meeting people is CEO Steve Jobs when he was alive, Larry Ellison from Oracle. I'm going to name a bunch of names you guys have no idea
Heck
because
yeah.
they're CEOs of public companies.
You go, boy.
But I think I would be super nervous to meet, let's say, a Lady Gaga or an Elton John or something, because all we go on is what you hear about, right?
It's comfort levels. It's kind of like because you know they're being bugged all day. The moment they come in the room, it's all you can do to make them feel comfortable. So whether that is to not really freak out that they walked in
Right.
and literally say,
Like, oh, hey.
hey Gaga, hey, grab your headphones. To go out of your way to make them feel comfortable seems like the right
Like
approach.
there's Katy Perry in you in that for your Nordstrom rack thing where you're working
Beautiful
back.
suit.
Wow, there's a connection you can lose.
First of all, I'm not even looking at Katy Perry at this point, which I don't even believe. Where did you get the ugly sweater suit?
The snowman.
I'm
Is that a
dead
sponsor?
serious when I say that when I get ready for these concerts, I go on Google and I type in obnoxious Christmas suit.
Did you really?
Obnoxious summer suit. I wish I would have given you a picture of the summer suit I had, which was hot pink, full double-breasted suit with shorts.
Nice.
It was a pink pattern with black palm trees on it.
By the
I
way,
mean,
The name of me and Jesse's new band is Ugly Christmas Suit.
That's it.
We're going on tour.
Only children, ugly Christmas suits.
Oh yeah, Ugly Christmas
Hey,
Suits. and only children.
what's it like being on stage though for those big iHeart
You got
festivals?
50,000 people on
Yeah, what's
You know
that
what?
like?
I'll tell you what. It depends what your introduction is. The first concert I ever worked in LA was at the Rose Bowl, and there was 75,000 people there. Will Smith was there, and this is what I remember. I remember walking out on stage, and I had a thing I had to figure out that I was going to say. I had it in my head. I walk out to the stage, and I could not focus because just the normal talking banter of 75,000 people is so loud.
Yeah.
You think they're screaming already.
Yeah.
And so that was my first hello
Right.
moment.
Yeah.
And honestly, from there, it actually has seemed like all downhill.
Yeah.
100%.
I want you to announce my band in front of 300 people at the Belly Up or the Kraken.
Dude, let me know. I'll come host it.
Yeah.
Do they have IPAs at any of those places
Yes,
you
they
mentioned?
do.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
it.
Yes.
Locally brewed for your
That's
pleasure.
it. Thank you.
Jesse Lozano,
Boy Toy
Star
Brewery.
94.1, KISS FM. Here on the air with us. We're going to talk about a great charity coming up, and also I want to do a bit. You got to do a bit with us. Like,
I got a bit for
smell
you.
my hand, anchor banker.
I got a
flanker.
bit. No smelling, but I got a bit.
Jesse Lozano's on the air. Did you guys compete? Were you guys competitors, the two of you?
Absolutely, we were.
Yeah.
Like, were you in the mornings together? Was there ever get? Because I didn't compete with anybody but like Roger Hedgecock, who we're going to have on the air with us next week. I mean, he was across town, but there was never like that's the best part about sort of being an AM. I never competed with you guys.
Well, that's
it was a different
Well,
audience.
We do have that in common. We both hated Jeff and Jer. That's just the way. That's just the way it goes.
Hey, wait. But
Well,
I have a question.
Here we go.
Because you are on a morning show.
Yeah.
One of the top morning shows on a top station, Star 94.1. How does it work? Because you're the leader and you have a few people with you.
Yeah.
Is it hard to lead? Because it's like
it's
like
really
a garage band. You guys are always,
Yes. I'll
there's a
tell
lot
you
of-
what, I'm an only child. That's why I think I was better at tennis than football. I loved being on the air in the studio by myself. I think a lot of things about me lend itself to being alone by myself.
Yeah.
So when I started, working on a morning show and had multiple people to let into the conversation, it was a learning process. It took me a while to listen to other people. It's actually really hard. Now during these times, I find myself in a different position of like what kind of a leader am I? Like, what are people expecting from me? And so I feel like I try to pay attention right now and educate myself on what that could mean for my listener. And it's weird. Right now, it feels like more important than ever. And I feel like I want to cruise. I'm 40. I've been on this. I want to cruise. I feel like I've got to button up.
40? Those were the days.
Wait a minute.
Yes.
I'm sorry.
What's
I'm
it like?
exhausted.
What's it like doing a show with Tati?
She's amazing. She is, I would say, probably one of the most talented females I've ever worked with. She's one of the funniest people. You have to have her on.
Yeah, we love
when
to.
she imitates her grandparents and her voices, and she has so much to her. It's been a great. I never worked with her before. I almost didn't know her. We were like strangers when we started the show, and it's been such a great thing.
We could use some help on the comedy stages around town too. Has she ever been up there doing stand up?
She says that she has a little. She says she's got 5 minutes right now, but I don't know if that's enough.
That's 3 more than you need.
Yeah.
And then tell us about your executive producer, Shelley Brown.
Shelley Brown, someone that you guys know how it is.
Shelley's great. I
Once
love
you
Shelley.
trust somebody, you take them with you forever. I've known her since she was 18 years old. She had just graduated from Coronado High School.
She's
She
fantastic.
was one of my first interns when I was working with AJ, and so throughout the years we've kept in close contact. And when I found the opportunity to bring her into Star to be my producer, it's been 6 years.
And
now.
that's fun too. We had a lady did our news. She was an intern and went on to be the voice of some insurance animated thing and hit it big with that voiceover work. But came in real young and green and just like, well, how can I help? What do I do? Real nice.
You don't let them go.
Did well.
Now, to be part of a popular morning show, successful for as long as you are, you have to give to the community.
Right.
And you have an organization. What's that called?
It's called One More Win. And in a nutshell, we help San Diego athletes with equipment and resources. We're talking the kids that have no ability to pay for their own shoes. They show up and they're wearing 25-year-old uniforms. Their football pads are being held together by old shoestrings. What we do is we take nominations for schools that really need it, and then 3 times a year we go to each school and we drop off a load of equipment.
Yeah.
Sadly, Grossmont High School softball, they won the spring donation for this year. We have $7,500 worth of
And they can't
softball
do anything
equipment
with it.
in my garage right now.
now.
because we can't get it to them.
Right.
But you know,
That's fantastic.
for me, I took a lot of the things that sports gave me. I was not a good athlete, but I learned so much from being coached and testing myself, and I feel like I applied that to my radio career, and that's why I feel like I give back in that way.
What's the website? How can people participate in that?
OneMoreWin.org. We
Win.
actually have our charity golf tournament coming up on July 10th at Rancho Bernardo
we
Inn. They're
go.
going to let us get it going. And
Perfect.
if you'd like to be a part of that, that's on the website. Lots of details.
We'll be in the bar. We'll be.
Yeah.
We'll be.
I'll be your MC. How about that? You can just sit down there, huh?
All right, really
Whoa.
quickly before we let you out of here, we only got a couple minutes left.
Yep.
Do you do bits on your show? Like Russ used to do Smell My Hand.
That was a good
and
one.
also, what was the other one you did?
Well, I had my boss, Kevin, the Dead Dog Kid, didn't like it at all, but it was theater of the mind, and the listeners loved it. And I cared more about the listener than my boss, which is why I'm out of radio now. Yeah, Smell My Hand. You had 4 choices of bad.
It was always the third one, right?
Yeah, whoever.
So what's your favorite?
Gosh, you know, the big thing that we have on our show is something called the Lonely Parents Club. And this is where people call in and they tell the very, their stories about the things their kids say to them at home that humble them. You know, the very unfiltered, uncensored things about your kids. And the best example I have, and it's what started the whole segment, is one time my daughter comes back from high school and she says to me, Dad, you know, we were sitting around at lunch today and all talking about it, and we realized that you are in the top 15 of coolest dads in the entire school.
Wow.
And I looked at her and said, top 15? Huh? I don't break the top 5?
Yeah,
like, I'm on the radio. I met Justin Bieber yesterday. Kanye West called me like 3 months ago.
my God.
You played that for your friends.
That's
You start
awesome.
putting up
So what is the
posters
name of
around
that
the
thing?
campus.
That's called the Lonely Parents Club because, you know, it's
Oh, yeah.
therapeutic to laugh about these things because you can't discipline them for saying that crap,
Yeah.
right?
I tried to scold my son once for doing that. I told him, eat your dinner, eat your dinner. I came back like 10 minutes later, eat your dinner. And he goes, I am. You can't see bites and spaghetti. And I'm like,
Wow. Oh, yes, you feel
oh, okay,
horrible.
I guess so. You really can.
Yeah.
So
And
anyway.
it said,
exactly
Tyler,
it.
Daddy drinks because you cry.
I want to thank Jesse for something. You know, speaking of community, Jesse does something around December for the last 2 or 3 years.
Yeah.
It's called Breaking and Entering Christmas. And I just want to say thank you for doing that.
Heck yeah, man. We're excited about it. It's I don't know if you guys have heard it. When it comes to powerful and things you can do on the radio, what this guy pulls off, it's crazy. It's crazy. We can
Well,
talk
Tommy's in
about
the
it
Hall
all
of Fame, you know, as a producer.
That's what I heard.
Oh,
Can I-
yeah.
Is it COVID proper if I touch that? I just
touch
want to.
Sure, well,
He doesn't let.
You can't touch.
You can't even avert.
Oh,
you have
gosh,
to
I
avert
want
your
to so
eyes to
bad.
that stuff.
That's what
Jesse
I'm working for right
Lozano,
there. Is that thing?
A huge pleasure. Best of
Yes.
luck to you.
Thank you so much. For
Thank
having
you
me.
thank you for swinging by, and at
Heck
the same
yeah.
time, it's one of those things where you're about to it's like we knew you when, okay? So when you get on the next elevator to success, remember us.
Well, like Cara Burnett, she pulls her, tugs her ear. Maybe you could just put your finger in your nose so that we know that you know we're watching. It's like,
That'll be the sign.
Jesse Lozano.
OneMoreWin.org. OneMoreWin.org. Go participate there. Jared Coleman, our director. Curtis Maddox, our assistant director. Molly the Tamale, our intern.
Don't forget your free hat.
Dottie is our camera person who is
Gifts.
Yeah, you don't get
the most talented person in the studio right now. RussIsFunny.com because
RussIsFatandBald.com was taken.
See you tomorrow.